And then when the cops did show up, they weren't prepared for the active shooter event. They didn't have the right gear, so they were afraid to go in. I find that to be very strange. If that's not a red flag to you, I don't know. Maybe you're just not paying enough attention. Why did the cops not do anything for a while while Ramos executed children and teachers? Protect and serve. You remember your oath to protect? You got guns. There's like 50 of you outside. You're afraid of one dude with a gun? I find that to be very strange. Why you would continue to let kids, innocent children who have no way to protect themselves, be slaughtered while you stayed outside in the protection of your police vehicle with your gun because you was afraid to get shot. I can't emphasize that enough. That bothers me, and then on top of that, why were you trying to stop parents? Their kids are in there getting shot up. Why are you stopping them, tasing them, spraying them with mace, cuffing them, to prevent them from going in there to stop their children from being murdered? Because you didn't want to do it for whatever reason. I'm sure you have valid reasons. And then why was it only up to a U.S. Customs and Border Patrol to show up and do the job of police by taking down Ramos? Again, that's not strange. All those police outside, and you got Border Patrol coming up and doing your job. Yeah, that's all very strange, man. I don't like, I don't like any of this. None of this makes sense, but it's kind of familiar because of the same way that was handled at Parkland and Columbine. All the school shootings, the protocol is the same. They don't rush in. They don't stop the guy. They let him do what he's going to do. I don't even understand any of that or why. I mean, if you look at this from a very common sense standpoint, we just spent $53 billion going over to Ukraine to protect Ukraine. But meanwhile, our children in our schools don't have the funding to have basic security. And I'm not talking like a full police force. Like, I mean, you could have 3 to 4 armed ex-military and ex-police to work in the schools. You could give bonuses to the teachers to become fully licensed to carry. And then let's say you have a staff of, we'll just shoot numbers. Let's say you have a staff of 100 teachers and faculty. If 35 or 40 of them decided to go out and get their carry license, and then you add to that, a security team of 3 or 4 ex-military, people are going to come in and willingly shoot up the school. They're not going to have very much success. You have 40, 50 guns onto 1, 2 guns. And then you have, the team outside. We have maybe metal detectors at the door, which is just, I guess, is an extra precaution. But I mean, if you secure all entrances and you have the pinch point at one entrance into the building, you can have the two-way doors open, but you can't come in, Like that's I don't know. This is a simple solution that could be handled within the communities, through the local law enforcement and through the school systems, but they don't have proper funding because we're sending all our money to Ukraine. Just remember, we're standing with Ukraine. We're sending all our money over there. We got no food on our shelves. Can't find baby formula. Gas is approaching $10. Cool story, huh? Food's going to be almost a non-existent thing. And they want to take your guns. I wonder why they want to take the guns so bad. Because they're going to blame it on the school shootings, which is like an easy putt for the Democrats because that's all they've been doing for the last forever. Trying to take away rights. It's what the Democrats do best. So yeah, looking at the situation for what it is a tragedy no matter how you slice it, but it was extremely preventable, completely preventable. And it's sad that no actual logical solutions are going to be presented. It's going to be, let's take away the Second Amendment right to the general population, make it harder for legal, law-abiding citizens to provide protections for themselves and their families, because the criminals aren't giving up their guns. So if evil comes and knocking at your door at 3 a.m, and we ain't got no guns around, that criminal's going to do what he wants. Rape, kill, rob, all the above. It's going to happen, and you're going to do nothing about it because you don't have a gun, because Biden said guns bad. A lot of the things that they're parroting is just comical. The Second Amendment is not there to help with hunting. Stop saying that it was only made from 1776 and it was an old law, and the countless ridiculous rhetoric that these idiots spew out of their mouth with zero thought, zero research, and zero understanding of the Constitution and the amendments and what they're there for. They're an actual restraint against the government from being tyrannical. That's why it's there. It's not there because it's a privilege. It's not like, hey, it's your driver's license, we can take that away from you. Driver's license isn't necessarily a right. Having a right to free speech is. Having a right to a gun and to protect yourself is. It's, don't give me the, oh, well, there don't have Kevlar. No shit, Sherlock, but the tyrannical government probably will. They have multiple round mags, but you want me to have 6. Or no rifle at all. Pistols with 5 rounds. Do you see where this is going? Every time through history, the direct correlation between disarming a populace and genocide, it's unbelievably daunting, right? So Stalin did it. Violence against children in schools, get the people emotional, take the guns away. Hitler did it. Get people emotional about the violence against children in schools. They get emotional, take the guns away. Mao did the same thing. Got people emotional, take the guns away. But guess what followed every single one of those disarmaments? Genocide. Every time. Yep. So now you're going to give me the, oh, wait, what about Australia, man? Australia, they gave up their guns, bro. They're living in camps. Okay? For a disease with a 99.9 survivability rate, getting force jabbed and starved. Don't tell me about Australia, okay? Spare me. Seriously, take a long walk off a short deck with that fucking argument, because it's not going to hold up. Okay, the amount of crime that they still have high gun crime out there. Why? Because the criminals still have their fucking guns. Oh, what a concept. Oh my God. They didn't run right in and say, you guys outlawed them? Here you go. They didn't do that because they can't. And they won't, because they'd be stupid for them. It's fish in a barrel scenario for them. You're defenseless, they're not. So you really want to trust just the government to protect you. Let's just take it back to the scenario where I just told you the Uvalde police took 30 minutes to show up. So if there's a situation at your job, at your house, and you don't have a gun because either you don't believe in it, stupid, or you want the government to take it away, also fucking retarded, you have to wait 30 minutes response time for them to come and stand outside and not put their life on the line for you. They wouldn't stick their neck out for kids. They think they give a fuck about you? If you ask a police officer, their job is not to provide for security for you. Your protection is strictly on yourself. That's it. When it comes down to it, you're responsible for your own safety and protection. Nobody else. If you want to leave it up to the government, you're not really the brightest person. You probably haven't picked up a history book like fucking ever. And I gotta say, brain's probably smooth up there. Watching a lot of TV. I can assure you the same people that are saying surrender your guns were saying stand with Ukraine, that was saying mask up, that was saying get your jab, that are riding around in a car with a mask on. I don't want to say brainwashed, but fucking shoe fits really well here. Don't you think? So now let's get into some factual information about guns. Since the media seems to know everything, they're preaching to you like a motherfucker, and they want you to believe everything they're saying is true. Kind of isn't, though. Now, recently polled by NPR, which they put this poll up and then they pulled it down because it didn't really go the way they were expecting it. Apparently, a majority of the United States, or the people that they polled in this survey, have a strong belief that you should arm teachers and staff. 60% actually in this NPR poll, which is a heavy liberal site, stating that 60% of all Americans believe that arming teachers and staff is a smart way to defend and stop mass shootings. Sensible. All right. We're going to get into this a little bit of a study here that started in 2000, was completed in 2018, and it spanned 8 years prior. What it explains is U.S. jurisdictions with tough gun laws have exceptionally higher rates of gun violence. Weird, huh? Other countries with stricter gun laws also have much higher rate of mass shootings. Why is that? They have tougher gun laws, there's less guns in society, but yet they still have higher gun violence, and then they still have more mass shootings. Why is that? Because, I mean, only the TV guy's gonna give you that information. All right, so the U.S. makes up of roughly 1.15% of the world's mass shootings in total, while having 5% of the world's population. So if you kind of look at the numbers, then it's not really terrible. It's not good because it's still mass shootings, but at the same time, I'm trying to look at a numbers thing here, not the actual crime perpetuated here. Of the 97 countries reporting data, the U.S. is 64th in frequency of mass shootings, and 65th in murder rate. So out of 97 countries that reported data, we're 65th. So here's the bottom being like almost none, and here's 65th. We're nowhere near even the top 10. Now, 4 times as many per capita died in mass shootings in France compared to the US. 21 times more died in Norway. Oh, safe Norway. It's European. They're super strict with gun laws. The fuck? So in addition to those nicer countries with extremely stringent gun laws, like, fuck, dude, you can't get a gun, the countries like Finland and Germany and Israel and Italy and Spain and Switzerland have much higher mass shooting death rates. So weird. So if there's no correlation with this situation, then there isn't going to be one. If there isn't one saying that tougher laws, less guns for the populace, still have mass shootings, still have high gun death. Why? Criminals still have them. Hello? They're criminals. They don't get... The murder was already outlawed. They're still killing people. Robbery was still outlawed. They're still robbing people. Drug dealing is still outlawed. They're still dealing drugs. Trafficking is still illegal. They're still trafficking. Do you think they're going to stop because you make a few more laws? They already don't care. Hello? So out of all the nicer nations that have significantly stricter gun laws, they all have a much higher murder rate and a much higher mass shooting rate. The highest, we're gonna turn it into we'll look at it more inward towards the United States. We'll kind of look at like the highest state with the loosest gun ownership, which is Wyoming. So the highest gun ownership state with the loosest gun laws, I fucked that up earlier, in the U.S. is Wyoming, where 60% of all households own a gun. It's a lot. It's a lot. Ironically, so weird, Wyoming does not have a gun homicide problem with a rate of 1.4 per 100,000. That's lower than gun control happy Canada by a lot. So why aren't all these states and countries with these high, strict gun laws, why don't they have less gun crime? Why is it higher? Because the people that need the guns to protect themselves don't have them. It's kind of like a fish in a barrel scenario. And then you're waiting for the police to show up and, I don't know, maybe administer CPR because you're probably fucking shot up and dead. So now we're going to move into the other end of the spectrum where the highest murder rate anywhere in the United States, hard to believe, is Washington, D.C. I know, right? Crazy. The murder rate of Washington, D.C. is 21.8 per 100,000 compared to Wyoming's 1.4. D.C. has the most restrictive, tight gun legislation and laws in the United States currently today. So, the city with the most restrictive fucking gun laws on books, the hardest way to get a gun legally as a citizen, has the almost, it's not the highest, but it's like middle of the pack in murder rate per 100,000. And when I say middle of the pack, I got one down here that's going to blow your fucking mind when you hear the number. That's more than 20 times that of most European countries, which have more strict gun laws than DC, believe it or not. The data suggests that the factors making DC have such high gun violence rates are part of the story of why America as a whole is deadly. But these cannot include high gun ownership or a lack of gun regulation by definition. Because I just showed you with numbers that tougher gun laws don't necessitate less gun crime. It actually correlates the opposite direction, where tighter, harsher gun laws equal more gun violence and higher murder rate. So put that in your fucking head and try to, come to terms with that. That tighter gun laws don't necessitate a safer place to live. Excuse me. Now, we want to talk about and sit here and blame Republicans and it's Republican legislation and all this bullshit. Well, DC hasn't had a Republican mayor since 1933, nor has DC had a Republican on the city council since 2008. So all these laws that are enacted in these states, California, New York, Illinois, Maryland, they're all completely run by Democratic liberal politicians. I'm sorry, it's just the facts, man. This is just what it is. I'm not putting any sugar on this for you. I'm just trying to tell you the way it is. And back to when I talk about statistics, I mentioned DC at 21.8 per 100,000, which is a staggering fucking number if you look at Wyoming. Well, another liberal shithole, and I don't talk about the city itself. I mean, shithole is in terms of who's running the place, because they're just fucking riding it right into the ground. Excuse me. St. Louis. Whew, their last time they had a GOP mayor was 1949. In 2019, St. Louis had 64.54 murders per 100,000. That making it the 9th most violent city on the entire planet. See, unfortunately, the news is never going to dig into shit and tell you the way it is. They're going to give you stuff to make you emotional, to push the talking points, to push the narrative, and they're going to leave out very important details. And I find that troubling, annoying, nauseating, I don't know, whatever fits there, treasonous. They shouldn't be lying to you. They should be giving you all the information and not some of the information. I got a few more things I wanted to touch on in regards to Uvalde shooter that I totally forgot about, and I apologize, but I'm going to get to it right now. Just because I'm already probably at almost a half hour, and I don't really want to go too much longer for my first video back. They say Salvador Ramos, his classmates specifically mentioned he was bullied for being poor, but the videos and eyewitness accounts say he was driving a fairly brand new Ford F-250. He had a $1,000 iPhone. Daniel Defense rifle, which is $2,100. An upgraded Smith & Wesson rifle, over $1,000. The laser sights, over $500. Tons of ammo, and he just turned 18 like a week ago. Where's he getting this money? Is it growing on a tree in his backyard? Is he pulling it out of his ass? Is he have a monkey who shits gold bricks? I'm trying to figure out where he's getting all this coin and not having a job. He don't work. Is he selling drugs? Where's all this money coming from? Something's fishy, right? And then an article about his grandfather saying he dropped out of school and didn't work full time and played a lot of Call of Duty and left his mom's house because of the lack of Wi-Fi. So how'd he come up with over 5 Gs for all this shit before his 18th birthday? Doesn't this raise any questions, red flags, make you scratch your head? News is not obviously shining a light on all this shit. They're completely ignoring it. And they want you to believe the cookie cutter story so they can get you emotional, to push this tyrannical legislation on you, to disarm you, because at the end of the day, the World Economic Forum has the plans for you. And they have fucked up plans for you. If you notice the economy crashing through the floor, can't find food on shelves, no baby formula on shelves, want to take your guns? You want to know why, folks? They have a depopulation agenda plan at hand. They've detailed it. They've talked about it. They want to mass surveil you. They want to track your every movement, minute. Go look on their website. Go to the World Economic Forum and check out some of their shit. They want you to eat bugs by 2030. Eat bugs and drink sewer water and live in a pod. Own nothing and have no rights. I believe the chairwoman of this fucked up committee, she literally said we need to rework the way we think about human rights and freedom of speech. The guy that runs this entire cabal of fuckery, his name is Klaus Schwab. Okay? His father was Eugene Schwab, or Eugene, E-U-G-E-N, Eugene Schwab, and he was a high-ranking Nazi officer in the Gestapo army. Now his son, Klaus, is leading the World Economic Forum to reshape the planet and to reimagine the future, where the Great Reset. You should go listen to this Nazi prick talk. Just go listen to his fucking voice. It drives me completely fucking insane. I can't deal with the guy talking. Like, it's really infuriating when he mentioned just the way he scoffs at us and the way he thinks he's gonna easily overrule the planet and we're gonna have one world totalitarian government in control of all resources and assets. That is their plan. They will accomplish this plan unless more of us wake the fuck up and get an idea that this is going on and try to stop it like yesterday. Because if we don't, I can assure you, you will live exactly how they're trying to make you live. And the dissidents are probably going to be dealt with. And it's easier to deal with dissidents when they're not packing 30-round ARs, which are not assault rifles, by the way, gun grabber idiots. It's Armalite rifle. Okay, I have a pen. If I stab you, does that make it assault pen? Because I did. I assaulted you with the pen. It's assault pen, right? Here's a lighter. It's just a lighter until I assault you with it. Is it assault lighter now? It's a play on words. It's to make you scared. It's constant fear. It's just been this way since 19 showed up. CV-19 it's been constant fear. Think about it. Go back. Fuel shortage, food shortage. Get this vaccine, more vaccines. Wear your mask again. Now we got monkeypox. Are you fucking kidding me? Rinse, wash, repeat now with the monkeypox. I'm telling you, this is their plan. It's going to be constant injections, constant fear, whittle away at your human rights until you completely have nothing, and then that's it. That's it. So, enough on this. I covered the shooting. I hope I brought up some interesting points and some facts and data points. It's not all here. I don't have everything. This is just some shit I threw together real quick to try to shed some light and get another perspective on what's going on out there. Because the news is going to lie to your fucking face. They're going to lie to you. Lie to you a lot. Lie to you often. Lie to you bold-faced. Lie to you two-faced. Lie to you with their head up their ass. They're going to try any possible way to get you to believe the bullshit they're pushing, because that's all they do. So until next time, motherfuckers, stay free, stay frosty, and keep on fucking living the life in the dream in America. Peace out, bitches.